Okay. So we've got all our bits now, and we're going to put them all back together. So I'm going to try and put a this T in and a piece coming up for a rodding access, so we can put a rod down and rod the drain. So it has to be obviously going with the flow. So this is the way the flow is going. Some of these will have on them somewhere, like this one. If you can see the arrow, it's telling you which way it goes. So this one here, I'm gonna, if you can see there, there's a seam in it. We're gonna try and get that vertical upwards. When it's a T like this, you can put a level on it like that. So if it's level, it would then go vertically upwards. But these are not 90 degrees, they're 92.5. So don't think that they're 90 and it'll go straight up, because it won't. It'll have a bit of a lean that way, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So this is going to go on first, and the reason why is when this one goes on, they can't go with the seams together and be perfectly in line, because this one's going to have to be on the angle slightly, something like that, to meet up with the old pipe. So hence I'm going to put this one on first, and then we're going to use the socket on the end of this. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to do that now. So we've got some glue this time, so we can glue it. And I'm going to show you how to put glue on. And you think, oh, it's sensible and it's easy. It's not. So the idea is start at the bottom and put your glue in all the way around. And you can see the glue going in, if you look. And I'm going to put glue onto the pipe as well. And when you put the glue on the pipe, you put the fitting on and then you twist it so this glue smears one from the other. So then you know you've got a good joint. So that's the general idea. Oh, I don't know if you can see that one there. I don't think you can actually see that, but that's all glued now and we're heading in the right direction. So our socket is a bit of a slip socket, so that's the next bit. That's going to go into the septic tank like so. Now the problem is, what we need to be aiming at now is we need to obviously fill this piece here, but we need to also get the right angle for that. So I'm going to try and assess this. So it needs to be something like this, if that makes any logical sense to anyone. But what makes this an awkward job now is we've got to try and glue that one and that one both at the same time. So I'm going to drag my dust sheet across, because I'm going to have to probably lie down. So as you can tell there, I don't know if you can see from there, this is going to have to go on like this all in one go. But putting it together like that, like so, that now gives me the required angle. So what I would tend to do, you can see the groove in that. You want to put a pencil line between those two joints so you know where to glue them. Did we have that pencil?
Yeah.
Anyway, scratch it. Nice one. So we've got the rough angle. I'm looking at this now. It doesn't look too bad for the same height. I'm putting the level between them two. That side now is slightly higher, which is what we were aiming at. We've got to hope that the pipe that's still buried is rising, or the dip that we've got here will have moved down there, but I don't think that will be the case because this was really, really dipping. So I think we're good there. So putting this pen line on will give us the angle where we need to glue it, basically. And that's what I'm going to glue first, that one. So if you can tell, hopefully you can see those lines there. So if I glue it like that, they're not in the right place, but if you bring them together there, that should give me the right angle. And if you can look there, you can see how it's not in a straight line. So that's the next job. So I shall try and show you a bit better this time. So here's how to do your gluing. Fill this one with glue. And you need to start at the back and work your way all the way back to the front. And do not be worried about putting too much glue on. Better too much than not enough. And on the outside of this one, because this is a male one, because it goes inside the other one, obviously. That's why it's called a male, and this one's called female. And what we're going to do here, put them both together and then twist them so that the lines match up like so. Voila. And as we spin it, it smears the glue inside the socket. And if you're worried about, like here, little drips, you can always run around with it. Take your glue off. But that should be a nice solvent welded joint. Shouldn't leak. You can pressure test those as well if you needed to, if you was on a big job. So again, that should now fit together. So we'll try it again and we'll aim for the next one now. Hopefully. So if in doubt, we've now got the elbow going into the connection for the septic tank. So I'm going to mark that again so we can glue that, and I'll follow the seam again. It wants to go to that point, else we won't get in it. Tape measure. And the only thing I need then I need a short piece cutting to go in there. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do it 5mm too short, so 2, 3, 5. I don't think you'll see that one, can you? Can you see where I've marked it? And it didn't go all the way in this time, so I've actually put a mark on it for that, for the gluing. So again, I'll start with the female end and glue that. you've got to be careful, don't put the glue where your pen line is, because it'll take the pen off, because what this glue does, it eats into the plastic and it creates a weld. So I don't think it's really glue, it's more it aids fusion welds. So hold it the way you're going and you don't forget, and again put it on, twist it so the glue smears from one side to the other, and there's your joint done. So just give that one a couple of minutes to set fully. And now that's the angle we're on. So I'm holding this section level, and you can see how it's running like that to meet the other one. So not quite perfect. So while that's setting, I'm going to cut this. Now if you can't cut pipe straight and you want to look like you can, the easiest thing to do is measure the length you want, 2, 3, 5, put your mark on, and then just go around doing it all. Takes you a few minutes longer. Could do a pencil rather than a pen, but we shall hopefully get by. Right, it's marking it. And then by going all the way around, oh, superb. It's like dot to dot, really. There we go. And then all you do, you join all your dots together. And that'll make you look superb when you cut it, because all you do is follow your pencil line around like that. Can you see it? Or when you cut it, have yourself positioned right above your saw cut. So I'm going to run to my car and get a saw. So, easiest way I find, stick it between my legs, like that, and keep your head above your blade, so as you're 90 degrees to your pipe. There you go, by hand, perfect. So what you want now, you need to file the inside, because if you look at the burrs on there, that's what catches your tissue paper. A lot of plumbers don't bother, lazy shits. That was a technical term. Oh, it's alright. Goes round. I've just been offered a round file, but these are better because you can dig into them. That's all you need to do, and you take a bit off the outside for when you glue it so it slips in nicely. And that makes you nice smooth edge so as nothing gets blocked on it. And you need to do both ends if you're conscientious. That's nice and smooth now. The socket, If you look down that, there's no groove in the middle because it's called a slip socket, this. And the round file, like a rat tail file, you can use them to take the middle out as opposed to that file. But this, I need this to slide over the pipe like so. If I can get it to do it. There you go. So now that's level with the end. And what I'm going to have to do, I need it about there. So the glue is going to go on here and it might get stiff. Hopefully the glue will lubricate it, and I'm going to have to knock it over the T that's in the ground, basically. So next stage. So the next stage, this is going to go into that bit. So we can glue that now. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see me there, if you tip the glue tub, you'll get more on your little brush. It's just easier. I might even look like a plumber one day if I carry on. So that's the inside of the female section done. And obviously the pipe's male. So you want to go all the way around, and you're aiming at 50mm roughly, 2 inches, because that's the depth of the socket, or the socket that's made. And it goes in full ink, as you can tell, and a nice twist to smear the glue all together, and that will never leak in a million years. Guarantee that one. So we're at that section now. So we're going to have to glue this and this both at the same time, which makes it double hard, and then try and get it to all go on at the same time. So I'm going to give it a clean because it's got a bit of dirt on it from the hole. Whenever you're doing jobs like this, don't fall down your own holes. Also, if you're on a bigger job, you want to make sure you don't forget to glue any of these, because then when it starts getting flushed and it's inside somebody's house, it starts dripping over time. It might not drip originally, but it will over time. Right, let's try that one. So ideally these are better dry when you're doing them. So you got to be quick here because the glue will be going off, obviously, so you want to be as fast as you can. And still aim for your 2 inches all the way around. And don't forget the bottom where possible. I don't know what the manufactured bit of tube is on that septic tank, but it doesn't look like PVC plastic, same as a soil pipe. Let's see if I can get it all to go together now, all in one go. There we go. Bit of tissue. And yes, I got full of muck. solid. So I think you can just about see my socket in that. I'm going to try and lower you down a bit. So last bit now, I'm not sure if you can, I think you can see it all, can't you? So this isn't quite lined up, but I think we'll get it, but we're going to have to knock this over, this socket. It's going to have to be knocked over as best as we can get it. Bearing in mind it wasn't glued before, so whatever we do has got to be better than what we started with. And in theory, there's a little line here. You can see if you've got it full socket. The idea is to try and get it full socket, but it's a bit Heath Robinson, as the saying goes. And if we can twist it, that's a bonus. So we're on about halfway there, and it's gone really tight. Right, I don't think that's going to go any further. So we're probably on, what are we on there? 50–55% of the socket. You're not going to get much more because it's forcing itself apart. But it's now got less of a dip like that, more horizontal. But we just need, we're going to use this now for rodding. This one. So glue this. And that gets us up out of the ground. So here what I've got is a 135, which will ultimately be on the surface, and we've got like a little access cap that allows you to open it. So I'm going to glue that in here now. Take the price off it. So again, all the glue on the inside, hold the cap like so. All the glue round, and then the two together, you put it on and twist. And you'll feel it tightening as well. and that's going to be the access. So now if it was me, I would leave that just below a flag, and you'll know which flag it is because it's now your house, you've lived here, you find these problems and you'll know where to look to solve the problems in the future. So basically what we want to do now is straight edge straight across here, get us the height, and we can work out where to cut this to put the access cap in, and we can probably just put it underneath the flag level and put the flag over the top of it. That's what I would do. Or you're into cutting a hole in the flag and going all the way around that. But for now, my thought process now is get this back up and running, get it working, and leave it open and exposed for a couple of days, see what happens. And that's us repairing drains in France. So we've tested the toilet, we've tested the sink, and we've tested the bathroom, and everything seems to be working fine now. And if you look from above now, you can still see a slight deflection in the pipe, but it's not as bad as it was, and it's a lot higher now. Definitely got fall, going in the right direction, not back falling, because backfall is definitely what you don't want in a drain. And they're going to finish that off when they fill it all up. And if you can hear that, we have running water. As they say in Manchester, happy days.